everyone, I'm Pritush Pandey and I have today the story of Kargil war story, the war in 1999 which occurred between India and Pakistan which causes huge casualties. Now in this video, we'll learn about all this Kargil story, what happened and the main events of the story. So let's begin. So, this all started on 21 February 1999. On 21 February, our Prime Minister of that time, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, went to meet the Prime Minister of Pakistan at that time, Nawaz Sharif, through a bus they had started a Lahore bus, which is a sign of friendship between the two countries. They signed a treaty that they will forget their old fights and be together as peaceful nations. There also was a treaty and the understanding at that time that during the winter time there was a lot of cold temperatures in our Kargil sector, Kargil area. There are four main sectors there, Dras and all these we learn. So now let us see what was the treaty with them. So now, as you can see how much snow it is during the winter time in Kargil. We have a lot of bunkers there. So at the winter time, our Indian soldiers and the Pakistani soldiers, they all go back from the bunkers because there is a lot of cold and they return in May-June season. So now what happened, that this was a treaty and this was a sign. But the Pakistani did not defy that and capture our Indian bunkers. Let's learn more about them. So, from that day, the Kargil war story starts. Now let's learn about what happened day by day. So, now, he was the general of Pakistan at that time, Pervez Musharraf. And these were the two main people whose hand was the biggest hand in the Kargil war. And Aziz Khan. He was the general and he was a military person at the Pakistani army, and they both had decided all the Kargil war, which caused a lot of bloodshed. So now let's learn more about what happened. Now let's see what was Operation Al-Badra of Pakistan, which started in 1999. So here before learning what was the thing or knowing what was that, let's see this map. This is the LOC, a line of control, which divides Kashmir into two parts. This area is Pak side and this area is Indian. It's in India and that's in Pak. So now, this area, it is inside. It's a whole sector known as Kargil. Kargil, you may know about that. So now, there are four sections in Kargil, which is four main sectors. So this, Dras area. This is Kaksar area. This is Batalik area and this is Kargil. Now, what did the people wanted? What was the Al-Badra's motive? So now what happened? That these Pakistanis wanted to cut off the NH1. This is the national highway which connects Siachen to India, to Indian border, India supplies, because it's long mountain, so it is very difficult to make roads there. So this is the national highway. They wanted to take this national highway and take the whole Kashmir in Pakistan. So now what happened, that during that treaty, they didn't obey that treaty. When the Indian army returned back to their camp in lower parts of the mountains, the Pakistani army stayed there and when they covered all the Indian bunkers, more than 140 bunkers, they conquered all these bunkers here. Now these four areas, Dras, Kaksar, Kargil area and Batalik, the most bloodshed was and the most war was fought in this Dras area and this Tiger Hill, 0.84875, 0.5353, and Tololing, and all these things were in Dras section. This Kaksar was, you can say it's very close to NH1, and this area, Batalik, this NH1 goes to the Batalik to the Siachen. Now Siachen, you may learn, it's a very you may know that's a very height it's a part of India, and the Pakistani wanted that Siachen area. So Batalik connects the NH1 to the Siachen, so they wanted to conquer this. Kaksar was a backup plan if both these were defeated, and this area Dras had the most brutal fight and bloodshed. So now let's know more about what happened in the fight. Patriotism is still in us. So this all started on 3 May 1999. A particular interesting thing happened. In this clip, that the shepherd was finding his goat when he saw some people with a beard, and he identified as Pakistanis were carrying huge arms, and they were digging post in that area. He informed the Indian army, and then what happened, they did survey by the helicopters, and they truly found out that there is some movement by the Pakistan army. So they sent a patrolling party. Let's know what happened with them. Now let's see what happened on 5 May 1999. On this, the Indian army sent a patrolling party to survey what is happening at that position. Their head was Lieutenant Saurabh Kalia. He met his end in a very horrible way. They caught him alive. He took all his lips and he cut their ears, and he blotted out the eyes, and they killed him and throw him away in a horrible way. So that's a very sad story, and seeing the story, we have that patriotism in our veins, and we will surely do something for our country. So now let's learn more about this story with this patriotism. Now, what happened on 10 May 1999? Let us see. Now, this is the Dras area, because this was the major place where the fight was. So let's see the Dras area. First of all, this is the area, as I saw, it's line of control. This is the Kargil area, and here is the Dras sector, the Tololing, Tiger Hill, 0.54500, 0.415140. This all were there in this Dras area. Now here is the Dras area, and there is the national highway. So this is Tololing, this is Aham, this is a 0.5140. These points are small mountains, and the farthest away is the Tiger Hill. It was the highest mountain up there, and this all area was covered by bunkers, many hundreds of bunkers of the Pakistani army. And we had to go, and if we had to give supplies to the Indian army, then we have to use this NH highway which connects all the India to Kashmir and Ladakh, Kargil. So they could shoot anything, even a scooter passes through this area, they can shoot that. They hit the bullets on our head, and it's just great sorrow that these people got in our country and were killing our soldiers. Now let's know more what happened else. This is the Kargil Dras area, as I told you, NH1. This 3 Pimple, and this all are these mountains which are here. Different parties went there. Now let's know more about them. This. Now you will think what was the motive of that Operation Aryabhatta. So now you may know that Pakistanis in the park always want the Kashmir. If they had cutted this Kargil area, they want this Kargil area, then all this area would have been cut off and would be taken by the POK, and that's what they want. But this area, Siachen area, we don't want this to happen. As you can see here, Ladakh, this all area would be of the Pakistanis. They already had a motive to capture Kashmir, the neck of our country. So now they were very intelligent operation. So what they took over all the upper higher mountains, and whenever we tried to go, they just it was now, because in the welfare of war, what happens then when someone is at early height, they can see what is coming up and they can hit, of course. So the same case happened at the Kargil war. They had all taken all the peak heights and they had made a lot of bunkers, and the Indians, we had a lot of, we got betrayed. We didn't, our prime minister met their prime minister, we thought everything will be in peace, but they disposed our belief and attacked on us from behind. We didn't know where they have made the bunkers, and they were attacking on the NH1 and the Indian areas. If you see in this map, you can see the Kashmir or the Pakistan controlled Kashmir, their capital, and this all was Pakistan. So now they wanted, because if now you can see in this map only, this is the Siachen glacier. If this NH1 was broken, then this Kargil area and this all disputed Siachen area would be in the control of Pakistanis, and that is what they wanted. But we Indians are very courageous, but the problem was that we didn't know where they were sitting on their bunkers, and they could easily hurt us without we kill them or without getting hurt. And all the Pakistani army has supplied them with all of the high machinery guns, artilleries, and all the big supplies, the surface to air missiles, surface to surface missiles, stringers, and lot of missiles, which caused a havoc in India, in this Kashmir area. So but our brave soldiers fought our way, and now let's see how. Now see this area. This is the NH1 National Highway, which connects rest of the India to the Kashmir areas. This is the Dras town. This all area is the Dras town. So this is 0.4875. You can see how narrow and steep ridges are there, so long, and this area has, you can see how big slopes are there, fields, and from 1 kilometer the upper. Now suppose the people who are sitting at this area can directly spot anyone who is in these areas, and they had huge missiles and air missiles which they can kill instantly anyone coming here, and they were bombarding on this area. Lot all bombardments were there, which causes a bigger loss of Indian army. You can see how it would affect us. Why the more casualties were there in the Indian army? Because these high slopes. We had no reason this could happen, and it was a very big challenge to us. But now let's see how we overcame. So what happened on 19 May 1999? The Indian Army started the operation. Let's know which. So the Indian Army started the operation Vijay, which was it was from that day officially the war had started. So you saw now that how they were bombarding our NH1, and these trucks were supplying supplies to the Indian army, but they were bombarding and finishing, and they were killing these trucks, so that all the supplies were cut to the Indian army on the Kashmir or Kargil area. Now let's learn what happened more. Let's know. Now this was the general who had a lot of plot against this plot of the Kargil area, Kargil war. So he said that he has more than 140 posts or the bunkers he has captured of India by Pakistan has captured. 140 areas of bunkers were captured by Pakistan of India. So you can see from this that how much big area was captured of India by the Pakistanis. Now, what are the advantages? Now, I have already told you the advantages of if the person is up, so they can see and they can bombard everyone up which is up there. Thus, they need to take their gun and shoot, because they can obviously see, but the people who are down cannot see from where up, because bunkers are made of rock only, so they cannot see from where the fire is coming. But the people at the upwards can see. Now let's see a clip which shows the advantages of the people at a height.
लड़ाई की लड़ाई में एडवांटेज तो उसे है जो ऊपर बैठा हो। यहाँ चढ़ाई और पहाड़ी रास्ते ज्यादा कठिन है। दूसरा, दुश्मन जो पहले ही आधा फीचर खो चुका है, पहले से ज्यादा अलर्ट और ज्यादा तैयारी पे होगा।
So now as you see that there were a lot of alert and ready, that we have gone to the patrolling party. They were alert that we will do some action. So where the high slopes we saw that caused the more advantage to the person who is sitting at the height, all the high mountains peaks, which were the Pakistanis. We had a disadvantage in that, but we Indians are very courageous. Let's see what's happened now. So now let us see what this is the Tiger Hill. Here all the people were sitting there, and the Pakistanis, and they had the eye on that area, and they could bombard anyone who was in these three areas of the mountain of Tiger Hill. It was one of the highest mountain of that time. So the Indian army, several grenadiers or the people from the army from the several states of a country were involved. So they go in three troops, some from here, some from this side, and some from here this side. So that, and the artillery fire was from that front side. So that the Tiger Hill was captured, was surrounded throughout all the area, all the four sides, which caused them to lose. So now let's see what's happened. Now let's know about Tiger Hill. Tiger Hill, also called as
0.5062,
is a mountain in the Das Kargil area of Ladakh, India. It is the one of the highest mountain of its area and was the subject of battle in the war of 1999 Kargil. Here you can see it how big it is. So now the battle of Tiger Hill. Now the 8th battalion or the 8th regiment of the Sikh was said to go attempted assault on Tiger Hill. Then the 18 grenadiers who were grenadiers, 18 grenadiers fresh from participating, they also won the victory at Tololing, went there from the rear side, and the two Naga battalion or Naga regiment were sent. So these three troops together conquered the Tiger Hill. So now let's see whom got from which side. So this Tiger Hill, as I showed you in that pic, that this, I will wish to go to that pic. As now, let us see whom came from which direction. So now, on this rear side, which is the back side, from the front side of the mountain, Tiger Hill, came the bombing. There was artillery shell firing from that area. So they were given area because the concentration was on the artillery fire, and these climbed from these three sides. Right side they were the Nagas, the Naga battalion. From the left side were the 8th Sikh grenadiers and 18 grenadiers back from the rear side. So all three met at this area, and the bombing was helping them. So these three troops conquered the Tiger Hill, which was the biggest height and a major challenge to the Das area Kargil war. So now let's learn more about the other operations and what happened later. General Yogendra Yadav was one of the 18 grenadiers who conquered the Tololing and Tiger Hill. Was the only survivor of the grenade. He had survived 16 bullets on his body. You can even imagine 16 bullets, what bloodshed, how many people were died in this war. Hearing this, even my blood gets and I get goosebumps, and I think that I have to do something for my country, and I think the same feeling is in your hearts too. So with this patriotism thing, let's proceed on. Till now, we learned about the operation of Indian Army. Now let's see the operation of Indian Air Force, which was on 26th May. It started on 26th May 1999. Here you can see the Indian Air Force emblem. So This operation was called Safed Sagar, which included the operation in the skies. The Indian Air Force bombarded on the post in the Dras area and all the others, Batalic area and all the other areas in the Kargil, where the war was extreme. 7 May 1999 was officially the Air Force came into the battle. Now, on the first day, it was a very bloodshed day of the Indian Air Force. The first day of the operation, Safed Sagar, a MiG-21 plane was sent in the Kargil area with the pilot Nachiketa, Mr. Nachiketa in it. So, on that day was a very bad day from the Indian Air Force. Let's see what happened. So, there was when this flight hovered over the Kargil Dras area, there was some problem in that. Some technical error was there in that satellite, in that plane. Some technical error occurred, so he ejected from the plane, but by mistake, because the wind was moving at that time, so he landed in the park area. The park people took him as a captive, but he was later given back to India, like that happened with the Mr. Abhinandan, Mr. Abhinandan, who was also a pilot. So same happened with Mr. Nachiketa. But at that time, the Indian Air Force didn't know that where Nachiketa has gone with his plane MiG-21. So to rescue his fellow pilot, Mr. Ajay Ahuja was sent with MiG-27 for a looking party, for a search party. This he moved on a very small scale. He moved on a very small height to search for its fellow pilot's plane MiG-21. But as he flew on a very small low area, the park people attacked on him through his missiles. So when he ejected out of the plane, what happened that they could see they used heavy guns and they killed him, and all his blood and pieces of his leg, all his body were falling down before he came with the parachute. His only head was there with the parachute, all his body they had shooted him, and his pieces were falling from the sky. This bad things me and his mother, his family, he would have a family. This gives so much angriness for those people who had done such bad deeds to our Indian soldiers. We have a thing in us that will say that others says that we are Indians and we will take our revenge one day. They don't know, Pakistanis don't know what we are, and they don't have the courage to fight when in front of us. They just come from the back. Always in all fights this happens. They come from the back and attack us, and this emotion rescuing our all friends, and this emotion which gives us anger, which makes us to win all the fights. Now let's learn more. So here is Miss Nachiketa, which was given back to India when there was pressure on Pakistan. And Mr. Saurabh Kale, which I already told you, met a very bad end. And Mr. Ajay Ahuja, and this all people, such great bloodshed, and this all fills me with sorrow and with lots of anger in search of revenge. So I hope it's in you also. So let's proceed now. So now they were very dangerous. India had a lot of dangerous helicopters with bombardments of lot of missiles. But what happened that the fight now was on 18,000 feet. For the area in the Dras section, the plains, the mountain tops in the Dras section was 18,000 feet above, and those helicopters could go only on 10,000 feet. So what will they bombard? So this carrier, this M70 would fly on great heights, 20,000 feet or more than that, but it was a passenger carrier, means it carried dead soldiers or injured soldiers back. It was a passenger carrier. That soldiers to the India or the hospitals. So the engineers of the Indian Air Force, here you can see there is no pod here for carrying missiles, And here you can see there is a pod for carrying missiles. These engineers did a great thought and got this solution. So this took to huge heights and did a lot of great achievements for the Indian Air Force. It has a great participation in the winning of Kargil War. So there were many flights of PS fighter jets which were deployed in that area. MiG-23 and Jaguar and Mirage 2000. These all were great planes. They were dangerous aircrafts, and lots of aircraft had helped in the and helicopters had helped in the success of the winning of India in the Kargil War. Now, if you think that climbing a mountain and conquering mountains like Tiger Hill, such high points, is so easy like doing a somersault and getting there, it's not the case. There were a lot of hardships of weather and all the things, fighting from the upwards and all these things. Let us see. Now you know what happened, that in the day, because they were other up, in the day they could see who is coming, so they could shoot easily. So they moved very slowly in the daytime and they stopped there. During the night time, when the visibility is low, then they move on to further heights till they move till the upper hills. And that process also, lot of soldiers get dead and but their bloodshed is for the mother India, and we will not get back when we get a chance. Am I right? Yeah. Now you can please see this clip about how the hardships were there of the Indian Army to climb up the hills. So now you saw this clip how difficult lot of bullets get in eyes, heads and all the areas of our body. When they are from the height, they can pinpoint accuracy, they can kill us, and all the people, most of the people who were there were sacrificed. But such bloodshed and such problems cause their sacrifice does not go in waste, and we fought the way out of them. We chased them away of our Kargil area. Also, you know that how dangerous it would be fighting in the Kargil area, and with death roaming around you and may come to you any moment. Now let's proceed. This patriotism is very essential in us. So in that time also, the artilleries and the missiles of India, which are very great, were also helping, such as the forced missile. Let us see how it was working and how they were helping us. In this video, that how they were bombarding all these bunkers. And also if I tell you that one soldier, he had the pin, which is the blocker, came out, so he put his hand in that blocker and his hand was thrown away, but he bombarded and killed all the bunkers there. His whole hand was thrown and he was thrown back 50 or 1-2 kilometers away, and his whole hand was sucked out by the bomb. And it's so painful to know, and how painful it would be for those people and who had shed our bloodshed. They have shed their blood, so we are here sitting safe. Or if they had not done this, everyone had got scared and run away, then it won't be the Pakistani would have captured whole of India, and we would not be in the case which we are. So we salute to those people, and we do respect their sacrifice and will not let it go worthless. Now we learnt about the operations of Indian Army Operation Vijay, and Indian Air Force Safed Sagar operation. Now let's look the operation of Indian Naval Service. All these three services which bombarded the Pakistan so that we won this bloody war of Kargil. So now let's see the operation Talwar of Indian Navy. Now, these Indian Navy used the aircraft carriers and they bombarded arteries and these planes. This you can see these runway tracks. All these and they were supplying electricity, oxygen, so petrol. So this all they went from the naval service throughout the India. They got to the Arabian Sea and stopped all the supplies of the Pakistan army or the whole country of Pakistan. Let us see how. As you now saw in the video or the clip that how we used our strength and our Indian Navy service to cut down all the supplies of Pakistan and how we bombarded Pakistan navies and Navy army, and we cut their supplies into pieces like a talwar or a sword does it. So we should not forget the sacrifice of Indian Navy service as well. Now let's see from where this Navy service, from the which ports this Navy service came. This is the Indian map. So you can see the Vishakhapatnam Eastern Naval Command, because it is India is surrounded from three directions with water. So naval command is, as we know, is very important. So there are three naval commands in India: Eastern Naval Command, Southern Naval Command, and Western Naval Command. So this Eastern Naval Command sent its troops from the Vishakhapatnam, sent its troops to the Arabian Sea. From the Kochi and the South Naval Command, some troops were sent, and the Western Naval Command. All these three commands got together, and all the Arabian Sea, it was locked because now, if you see in this figure, this is the Pakistan area, and this Arabian Sea, this whole Arabian Sea. So all this Indian Navy, because the supplies is because they are not such few which they take from earlier other countries. So all the export and import was blocked by the Indian Navy, and all the merchant ships which are going were stopped. So that, and that case even became that the Pakistan had only 6 days of petroleum left for its cars. That you can think what quality of the power the Indian Navy has, so that they stop all the supply, export and import of Pakistan. And thus, now what we saw from here, the Indian Navy, Indian Army, the Indian Navy and the Indian Air Force together, they bombarded Pakistan, and which gave a very good chance, which had destroyed the leg of Pakistan, and we won the Kargil war. Let's see more about what's happened later. Here, this so bad the case was there that the Pakistan army had to move from this case, that this Hyderabad and Karachi area was all could be made a part of India, but as we know, we don't take any other territories. So then when the Kargil war was finished, the Indian Navy came back and the Pakistan regained its territories of Hyderabad and Karachi. We are Indians, we are true, we don't do cheating, we are not betrayers, and that is our special quality, and that's what we are respected for. You may know that when we go in foreign countries, then they see Indians as a respect. They see Indians as respect, and because we never do wrong things, it's in the history that we don't ever attack on any country first. When we get attacked, we finish that country. But But we don't attack. This is the special quality of Indian Army, we Indians, and we have to maintain it. We have to sustain this, as we are now the new citizens of India. We are the new generation, so we have to do it. And you can see the Arabian Sea, the Karachi, and all these commands. Now let's proceed on. Now, after the capture of 0.5140 was after to capture 0.4875, Vikram Batra, Dil Mange More, if you have seen this, he was a very great soldier and he helped in the capture of many big points such as 5140 and 4875. There are lot of, like him, there are lot of great soldiers. Let's learn more about them, the great soldiers which helped us in our Kargil war. So now on 4 July 1999, let's see what happened. Now this Tiger Hill and all the Dras areas, Batalik area were conquered by the Indian Army, and most of the areas were under now the Indian control. It's a very, very great achievement, and this shows the strength of our country, that and it's a lesson for those that if anyone wants to fight India, then come in front of us, we'll kill. And even if you betray us, you don't know the power. You should not do. It's a message for Pakistanis that you should not do things you cannot do, because we Indians don't know the strength of our Indians, and you will, if you will do again, you will teach our lesson. This betrayal you do, if India only one time does the betrayal, then this. So let me introduce you to the Kargil girl, Gunjan Saxena. She used the cheetah helicopter. She was the lady girl in her Air Force, and she helped in the rescue operations in all to rescue the people, injured Indians, to get them back to hospitals. She did a great work in that field, and you may have seen the Gunjan Saxena movie about her. On 5 July 1999, let's see what happened. On 5 July, Nawaz Sharif, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, went to meet the President of America, Mr. Bill Clinton, but he could not get help from the America, and he returned and he called his army back from the Kargil sector. And here you can see him declaring to call back the army from the Kargil sector. On 14 July 1999, let's see what happened. On this day, the Prime Minister of our country, Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, declared the war was won by India, and he declared that India has won, and all these people, the Karachi area, this side of line of control are now back. We have acquired this area again. It's a part of India, but because there was suspicion that there may be some bunkers still of Pakistan, so the Indian army surveyed throughout that area on 26 July 1999. So on 26 July 1999, the Indian army officially declared that all the intruders have ran away from the Indian territories, and that area is now under India's control. And we mark that day as 26 July as Kargil Vijay Divas, which is today. On the memory of those soldiers who sacrificed their life for our country India, there is a Kargil War Memorial. It's a monument-like thing in Dras sector on the memory of those brave warriors. So as you can see this, here it depicts the Kargil War of 1999, and they were the people behind this war, and you can see Pakistan, and this is India. So now let's not see the movies which are made on this epic war. So Operation Vijay, LOC Kargil movie is made upon the Operation Vijay of Indian Army. And this Laksh movie is based on Karan Shegli's sacrifice in the foundation of fight of .5179. And one more movie is there. Gunjan Saxena, the Kargil girl, which is made on Gunjan Saxena, which was she helped, as we learnt, in the rescue operations. So this was all in this video, and at last I will say that those brave warriors who sacrificed their lives for we who are sitting cozily and safely in our homes, just because of them. So we should remember the sacrifice of them and have this patriotism in our veins. So with this note, I'll end the video. Please like to subscribe my channel and don't forget to click the bell icon segment below to get regular updates of my videos. Thank you. Jai Hind.